Can you guys hear me now? I don't know what the hell I'm doing, child. Audio outputs and Zoom settings. Okay. I hear myself. Hello. Why do I have to okay, y'all can hear me? All right, so how the hell do I pay attention to this and Zoom at the same time? Because I want to let y'all be able to join me um with this conversation. So let me go back to Zoom. I want to be able to see y'all too. Maybe okay. Maybe I can just all right, maybe I'll just do it like that. All right, so let me see if I can put the link up here to the um live stream, the link or whatever. Hold on. Let me put my phone down. I don't know how to pin the link. Do I do more? Okay. I don't know how to pin the link, but I want people to be able to join me in this conversation. Um, sorry, y'all. I got to start using my computer though, because my boys are not helping me with editing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna have to start using the computer. Hi, everybody. I don't know how to get the. How do I get this link up here? Oh, wait. Maybe it's this thing. Let me see. Ha ha. Okay, I think I figured it out. All right, so mods, please help me, y'all. I just pinned whatever link I have on my screen to the comment section. I'm not sure if I did it right, but if you guys want to help me, that would be freaking great and awesome. Work with me. Okay. I don't know how to mute the, oh, I got to mute the YouTube video. So let me mute that. I think. Okay, and then we'll go to Zoom. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. All right. Whew, thank God. Okay. As y'all can see, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying. Okay. So I know there's an elephant in the room when it comes to us women. Okay. And today this discussion is gonna probably be, why is it doing that? I'm hearing myself. Oh, hold on. I'm not sure why I'm echoing. It's like a delay. Hey, Kevin. I don't know. There's a serious delay. Um, and I'm not sure why it's doing that. I'm so confused. Um, so I guess I'll just continue, even though this is annoying, because um, when I tell you the delay is real, it's not even funny. Um, but the thing that um, I can't function like this. This is weird. I don't know how to fix it. I do have an open link to my live, like on YouTube, you mean? Do I need to close all those out or what? Do I need to close my YouTube out and just leave the Zoom on or what do I do? Hold on. Let me see if I close it out. I hope I don't. If I end it, I'm gonna come back. Hello? All right. Can y'all still hear me? That worked actually. Okay, so I can't have the YouTube and the Zoom on at the same time. Okay. Can you guys still hear me? Well, I closed it. I did mute YouTube. Can you guys still can you guys hear me now? Okay, good. All right. Um so you guys know I do personal readings and I get a lot of clients from all different types of backgrounds that live everywhere, that that are everywhere, young, old, but a lot of my clients happen to be feminine energies. Okay, they happen to be women, and one of the things I think that's bothering me so much is how so many girls, um, some younger, some older, will tell me how they never fit in, how they've been bullied, how the way they've been treated by their own kind. Okay. Um, as you guys know, I think it was like last week, I posted some pictures of myself on my channel. And I got a little triggered because there was some women who had kind of started this smear, low key, hating like type thing going on the low. And it really disturbed my soul because for some reason, I don't know why Shanquilla Robinson has been on my heart so tough these days. But when I tell y'all, I've been thinking about this baby like every day, all the time, like she's my own child or something. It's freaking weird. But I get a lot of women who express to me that they don't feel supported. They don't feel like they can fit in. They can't really celebrate their triumphs. They can't really have true, authentic friends. They can't really, um, tell people about celebratory things that's happening in their life because they're afraid in fear that sometimes even their parents, their sisters, people that are actually close to them will kind of low key hate and make them feel a certain type of way about things that they worked really hard on or accomplishments that they've done. Um, it's not my intention to come up here on YouTube and try and bash anybody. But when I speak from a place, it's authentic. It's my own personal experiences. And that's the only place I can come from. I can't come from anywhere else because my experiences are what made me who I am. Now, I do have several female friends, not very many. But the ones that I have, one of the things that we all have in common is that we have kind of had to be friends with guys. A lot of our friends are men. We don't really, we can't really get in solid connections and friendships with women because we deal with these things of women kind of trying to make you feel a certain type of way about everything, right? Now, here's my thing. If we're living in a world where we're free to choose, right? We're free to choose who we feel like being today. Like if I woke up today and said, you know what, I feel like, my name is Charlie and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do some Charlie shit, nobody would have a problem with that. If I said, today I feel like being a part of the LGBTQ community, nobody would have a problem with that. If I said today I feel like a white woman, nobody would have, I mean, they might laugh at my ass, but nobody would have a problem with that. But when I stand up, sit down, or wherever I am, representing myself, loving the skin I'm in, regardless to whatever the world says I need to be, I'm comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable with my skin tone, even though everybody says I need to bleach. You too dark. You need to be light skinned. You need to lose weight. You need to fix your teeth. You need to do this and you need to do that. I'm comfortable with me. Okay. I'm not sleeping with the people that's telling me I need to do something different than what I'm doing. If I look in the mirror and I'm displeased with what I see, I'll just change it. It's that simple. Okay. So I'm trying to figure out what exactly are we teaching these young ladies that are coming up in this general. We're teaching them that BBLs are fine, plastic surgery is fine, being a part of LGBTQ community is fine. If you want to be you want to be a tomboy, that's fine. If you want to go to church, that's fine. If you want to be a Buddhist, that's fine. If you want to be whatever you are, that's fine. But you can't look how you look though. You got to look the way we say you're supposed to look. You have to present yourself and show up in the world the way we tell you you're supposed to. And I'm going to say something. That is the reason why we're seeing so much violence amping up on the women. Okay. And I'm specifically talking to the Black community. I'm talking specifically to the Black community because that's the community I'm a part of, and that's the community that affects me. I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing. I'm already very much aware that a lot of the men in our community deal with self-hatred issues that they really need to heal from. They do. Okay. I'm not going to get up here and yell at the top of my lungs. If they want to be sick, fine with me. Okay. Do you. Okay. But I'm watching Black women. I remember there was a time when I was coming up, Black women were so proud and they were so strong. And they did not care. There was nothing wrong with your curves. My big mama was 4'11". She had boobs bigger than mine and an ass that'll make you think she had a BBL. 4'11", built like a brick shit house. And she was comfortable in her skin. Nobody judged her. Nobody told her she was too short to have it. Nobody said you need to go get a breast reduction. Nobody said anything. Now I'm watching the women, this self-hatred that we're expressing to the world, because that's who's watching us. Okay. All of this surgery and all this stuff all we doing is telling everybody we don't like ourselves. That's all we doing. That's it. That's it. That's all. We just say, I don't like me. Let me go and fix it and break it and put it back together. Okay. If that's what you choose to do, fine. But a lot of people are doing it for the wrong reasons. But I'm watching Black women turn into Black men right before my eyes. I'm seeing Black women out here toe tagging each other. I'm seeing Black women out here toe tagging their friends, dis- discarding their children, jealous of their daughters, sleeping with their daughters' men. The daughters are sleeping with the mother's men. The Black women are murking their children, taking their babies off earth. It was a time when you would never hear about that. You would never, ever, ever hear about some of the things that you've been hearing that's going on in this community. And it's starting to make me mad. It's making me sick to my damn stomach because I'm trying to figure out, when did we start hating ourselves so much? When did we become so powerless? When did we start to behave like we were weak? What happened to us? I'm not really sure if, I don't know. Maybe I'm over exaggerating. Maybe I'm reading too much into the situation. Maybe I'm tripping. But I see Black women with this snowball effect. And I think I know what it is. I think that Black women have a problem. I think their problem is they like to follow their leaders. Even though they're accused of not doing so, I notice every time Black men do something, about 10 or 15 years go by, and here come Black women following right behind them. Black men have been showing their self-hatred for a really long time. Ever since they integrated us with them people, the powers that be, the people who don't look like us, our community have gone straight to shit. We will never see another Black Wall Street. It'll never happen. We'll never get another Martin Luther King. There'll never be another Malcolm X. Ain't gonna be none. Because those men operated with um, a different place of humility. Even if they felt a certain type of way, there was just some things morally they wouldn't do. They may have laid in their beds every night and dreamt of laying up with Becky or a preference, but they wouldn't dare do it because they knew the world was watching them. And they knew that when the world looked at them, they represented their entire community. That's the difference between them and these bussies we see today. They don't give a damn. Men back then probably felt the exact same way. They probably wanted a preference. But you wasn't going to pay them to get up and stand up in front of the world with one on their arm. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen because they wanted you to see the strength of a Black family. They wanted that to be the important. When you looked at them, they wanted you to see, I stand behind all my people, no matter what we feel like, no matter what you see happening. I stand behind my people. I want to know, Black women, what in the hell has happened to us? What are we doing? Our daughters are out in the streets fighting and toe tagging each other over men, clothing, looks, skin tones. What the hell is going on? I need to know what the hell is going on. I'm so confused. I'm so damn confused. When I tell y'all I'm genuinely confused, I am genuinely confused. I remember there was a time where you could go with your girlfriends and matter of fact, you and your girlfriends were so tight, you wouldn't go nowhere unless you had your girlfriends. You wouldn't go out to a bar because you knew that if you didn't have your girlfriends and you drank too much, somebody could take advantage of you, and you knew your girlfriends wouldn't let nothing like that happen. You knew it. If you had to pee, she went to the bathroom with you. She held your purse while you peed. You came out, you washed your hands, she went in and peed. Your baby daddy get to acting a fool and you can't get to work, she come over and watch the babies. You fall asleep, drunk, leave your wallet out, $5 million in your wallet. You wake up, every cent still there. All 5 million. There was a time you would never see a black woman try to bleach her melanin. That was insanity. Absolute insanity. I'm seeing beautiful melanated sisters bleaching their skin, then getting up a year later talking about, oh, look at all this acne I got. It's not okay for us to be different. That's not okay no more. My big mama had 11 children. One of them, she was built different. She didn't go get a BBL. You know, I'm really worried. Excuse me. I'm really worried. I'm worried because I fear that the little girls that are growing up now won't have an identity. I fear that the little girls growing up now in 10 years, everybody's gonna look like a blow up doll. There's gonna be no melanated people because either we gonna crossbreed, okay, or everybody just gonna bleach their damn skin. You know, I get it. I get that black women want the attention of black men. I understand. Okay, I understand. But let me bring something to your attention. Every single time black men have told black women that they need to change something, they did it. And no matter what they changed, you still weren't good enough. They told you that they was messing with Becky. Now this I'm talking about back when my mama was dating. They said, "Oh no, we like white women because they easy. We like white women because they swallow, they suck the whole thing, they make it disappear. They do that." Black women start doing it. What's their response? Now you a thought because you're doing exactly what they said they wanted you to do. They wanted you to bust it wide open and bring it back. They got songs. Bust it wide open, and I told her bring it back. Bust it wide open, and I told her bring it back. You bust it open and bring it back. And his response to you, you a thought. This is the response they give you. Now, you too dark. Your ass ain't fat enough. Your stomach ain't flat enough. You're this, you're that, you're every. It's something wrong with you. Black women, ain't nothing wrong with you, baby. The only thing that's wrong with you is that you keep believing them. You keep thinking that if you change, you keep thinking that it's you. You keep thinking that if you just let up a little bit more, if you relax your standards just a little bit more, that's what you keep thinking. That if you contour to what they're telling you, it's going to change something. Let me explain something to you, baby. And this is to the women who want to understand. If you don't have to listen. You don't have to comment. You can click off the video and go do something. There's millions of people on YouTube. Content creators are everywhere. I don't want to fight with you. I'm talking to the young people who come to me for readings crying because they don't know why their mothers don't like them. And they don't know why their sisters don't accept them. And they don't know why they don't fit in anywhere in society. And they're thinking about toe tagging themselves. I'm talking to them. Let me explain something. You can take a duck and you can pluck all his feathers. And then you can take a black marker and you can draw little shapes on it and color them in. and then take a white marker and draw them in, and you can say, look, now we got a cow. Guess what? You plucked off all of those feathers. You used all that marker to make that duck look like a cow, and guess what? Excuse me. It's still a damn duck. What I'm trying to tell you is it doesn't matter what you do with the outside of something. What is inside, the DNA, the blood, the mind, the thought process cannot be changed unless they decide to change it. You aren't doing anything wrong. I have girls that come to me for readings that say that my mama accused me of sleeping with her boy. Every time she get a boyfriend, she accused me of sleeping with him. Ma'am, that's jealousy. That's projection. We are out here destroying these young girls' self-esteem, their mindset, but then in the same breath, we want them to have some kind of standards. They can't. The standards that we want these girls to instill in themselves, we have to teach it to them. If you're telling your daughter, oh, you need to go put on some clothes, don't be walking around my house with that man while man in here, bitch. I seen this lady. I don't remember if it was a TikTok or a YouTube video. She was about to stab her daughter. She had a knife in her hand and was about to stab her child because she said her daughter was trying to provoke her man when the girl came and told her, mama, your boyfriend been touching me. She was about to cut her. You provoked him. You be walking around here with your shorts on. I said, what the fuck am I watching? What's going on? This, y'all. When I really sit back and I think and I dissect this thing, this elephant that we don't like to talk about, this thing that we don't like to address, I'm going to tell you, the first time somebody told me that my mother was jealous of me, I laughed. Because in my little brain, my little 12, 13-year-old brain couldn't understand how a mother could be jealous of her child. I didn't get it. I didn't understand. But as I got older and as I started to mature, I remember my mother beating me. Ooh, I'm trying not to get triggered. Shit. I remember my mother beating me, telling me to stop walking like that. And for the life of me, I could not figure out what the hell she was talking about. She said, Queen, why do you keep walking like that? And I said, I don't know. I'm a child. I'm like 9. She said, come here. Sitting on the porch, braiding my little sister hair. And I walked up and I said, yes, ma'am. Why are you walking like that? Do you know this woman beat me often because of the way I walked? Something I can't control. It's like beating somebody for having a cleft foot. There is a lot. When I say a lot, there is entirely too many young girls that don't even understand what's happening in their house. They're trying so hard, fighting and kicking and screaming, trying to have a healthy relationship with their mother, and they can't understand why their mother doesn't like them. I have a little cousin. Her mother hates her so bad. She's been calling children's services on her for years. She finally, after years of calling children's services, got this girl's children taken from her indefinitely. I don't think she's ever going to get her children back. And when I talk to her, she cries. Why don't my mama love me, cuz? Why my mama do this to me, cuz? And as much as she try to fight, she don't want to be around her. She don't want to call her. She don't want to. She don't. But it's her mama, and her little heart is wishing. I wish my mama would just love me. She said, "Why it ain't like the shit I see on TV?" And I don't know how to explain it to her. I don't know how to tell her that her mother is jealous of her youth, of her strength, of her light, of all of the opportunities that she has, because her mother missed so many. Lo and behold, I looked up one day and she was her mom. You know, it's a really sad thing to you know, let me say this first, right? I don't know what healthy family dynamic really looks like, except for the one I created for myself, what I thought it looked like. I used to ask myself when I was younger, why can't I get pregnant with a daughter? When I was having babies, I wanted a daughter so bad. But I ended up getting three sons. And I remember one day sitting around crying, just being emotional because I was just emotional wreck back then. And I thought about it. And had I had a daughter then, I don't know if I would have been capable of giving her what she needed. I don't know if I would have been capable of treating her fairly. See, with my sons, I was able to learn as I went because I really had to focus on cutting on that masculine when I needed to. You know, boys are a little different. You can kind of rough boys up a little bit. You can give boys some ramen and call it a day. Girls, you got to move real strategically and wise and careful with girls, right? But I wasn't thinking about that at the time. I was married, I was having babies, I wanted a daughter. But when I sat back and thought about it, I said, damn, I probably would have messed little mama up bad. The women in my family, my aunts have slept with each other's men. My cousins, they sleep with each other's men. And let me tell you, right? I got some cousins that's sisters. One cousin went to her sister's house and saw her ex-boyfriend in the house. And she got mad. Her sister said, my punani get wetter than yours. He like me better than you. I give better head than you. Don't get mad, B word. Don't get mad. When my cousin called me and told me, I said, bitch, no, you lying. You lying. Then I called her sister, who's older than her. And I asked her about it, and she started to laugh. This is what I come from. And it scared me when I thought about it. My boys were really young. I was afraid. I said, damn, how do I not ruin them? This is it's been going on in my family for Lord knows how long. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that spirit, whatever that is, loved me enough to direct me, to show me what was wrong with that dynamic and not fall into that pattern like everybody else did, to separate myself from my family when I was really young. I left New York when I was like 14, 15 years old, and I stayed gone 20 plus years before I went back around those people. And when I went back, I was like, oh Lord, I see why you got me the hell away from it. Okay. Um, Breaking cycles. Learning to break cycles is one of the most difficult things I think I have ever done in my life. There was times that I caught myself in the middle of toxic things and things that were traumatic for my family, and I had to stop myself. And I remember, I'm gonna give you the most traumatic one. When I was coming up, my mother used to whip us like abusively, and we used to get beat with like extension cords and 2x4s and stuff like that. Really, really bad abuse. But like back then, it was normal, right? And I remember one time my children, they had went in a pantry and they had taken a whole big 5 pound bag of sugar, and it was in the room. And when I went in the room, it was a pile of ants in my kids' room on the floor. So I was gonna beat the hell out of them. Let me tell you, I cleaned it up first, but I said I'm gonna beat the hell out of them. And I hadn't hit them with anything except like a bamboo spoon, or I might take a little twig or something and pop them once or twice. I didn't abuse them. I remember taking this extension cord, and I don't know if I had lost it or what happened, but I don't even remember grabbing it. I just remember when I came to, whenever my brain jumped back into my body, I was swinging, whoosh, 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 and they were screaming, wow, wow, and I stopped and I said, oh my God, because I'm going to tell you what flashed through my head when I heard them screaming and I was swinging. I started seeing Black people hanging from trees, being hit with whips. And I know that might sound a little outlandish to some of y'all, but that's what spirit used to stop me in my tracks. I pictured my sons, and this is going to sound bad, hanging, not from their necks, but from their wrists. And I pictured someone who wasn't me with a whip, whipping them, and they were screaming. And I said, oh my God. And I just fell to the floor and I started to wail. I think I cried harder than I have ever cried in my life. When I tell y'all that still bothers my boys were young, that shit still bothers me. It still traumatizes me when I even think about it. Okay. But I never did that ever again. I never blacked out like that and grabbed anything and hit them. But some years later, when I started my awakening process, before I started doing my dark night of the soul on my childhood wounding, which was one of the most difficult things I have ever done. When I tell you it took the strength of Goliath for me to deal with some of the things that was going on in my bloodline, in my DNA, trauma. But when I sat back and I thought about all the trauma that my grandmother probably went through, what she saw, maybe she saw her father being hung and beat that way, and she did that to her children. Maybe as a child, she saw something like that happen to her mother. But I know it happened to my mother and all my uncles and my aunties because they told me at the hands of their mother. And then my mother turned around and did it to us. And I had the audacity to get ready to do it to my children. But when I sat back and thought about it, y'all, and I saw all the trauma that was associated with my bloodline, with my people, I was like, this is sick. This is demonic. There's something wrong with this. Healing is a very, very difficult thing. It's a very, very difficult thing. It is difficult to do. It is difficult to face some of the things. And sometimes when you're really spiritually elevated, when you're really into your spirituality, sometimes spirit will take you there and show you visions of things that happen to other people in your family so you can get to the root of the trauma, right? You might go to bed and you wake up and you be like, damn, I had a dream about a little girl, and you know somebody was raping her, and it could have been like one of your family members, but you never saw them as a child before. It could be like your grandma, and spirit's trying to show you what happened to her and the reason why the women in your family fight over men all the damn time. Or it could have been her mama raising her children with trauma. You understand what I'm saying to y'all? I want y'all to understand how deep this shit is. We have to understand that some of this karma is not always karma that is ours. But even though it may not be our karma, it's still our responsibility. Because if we don't heal it, if we don't take the responsibility and say, wait a minute now, okay, my daughter is supposed to be built like a brick shit house. I had her in soccer her whole life. She's been on a track team for 10 years. She's young. She should be beautiful. I shouldn't be over here ready to stab my daughter. I need to be ready to stab him because that's my baby. When we start looking and recognizing and allowing our children to just live, just let them be. But if we don't break these cycles, hold on, y'all. My son knocking. What? I was just gonna ask, do you need anything from one? Okay. But it's almost like in a really sick type of way. I see a lot of women wanting to stop their children from growing, from learning, from, it's like their own fears. You know, their kid turns 16, 17 years old and, Mama, I want to take this school trip to Germany and go and culture myself. You know, and white folks are sending their kids out. They go get them a passport. I'm going out there, girl. Go on to Italy. Go ahead. Go on with your class. Go have fun. Go culture yourself. Black women, oh, I don't want you over there. What if something happened to you? Most of us can't even protect our kids right here in the United States. Most of us aren't even safe. Safe where? We aren't safe here. When your cell phone is considered a weapon if your skin is too dark. Driving while black is an actual thing. Minding your business is illegal. Karens are real. Like, this is safe. This is okay. This is what we have conditioned ourselves to think is okay, and there's nothing wrong with this. Nobody sees this as an issue. Nobody thinks that this is a problem. Nobody thinks that some of us are trying to stop our children from shining and living because of our own fears. Some of us are dimming our own children's light because we're afraid. Because we were the child that was scared to leave from in front of the front yard Now you don't want your kid to go cross town because you didn't when you were young. Now you got a child stuck in Baltimore, stuck in New York, stuck in Georgia, stuck in California, stuck in the hood, scared to leave. And then we wonder why all the little black girls are running around here with babies with Pookie and Ray Ray. Because you done taught them to be scared. You taught them that anything outside of their neighborhood is scary and it's unsafe. And they're in danger. That's what we told them. So this is sad. I posted a link. I hope one of my mods still got it, girl. Cause I don't know if I could do it. I wanna see if anybody would like to come up that might have anything that they want to say or maybe share some words of encouragement or maybe a testimony or something that they have because I think we're at a point now where nobody really has a safe place anymore. We can't say these things to our brothers and sisters because they gonna run back and tell our mama, and then she gonna get mad, and and then you got all this. Thank you, Dark Femme, for posting the Zoom link. So Dark Femme just posted the link. If anybody wants to click the link and just come up and say anything, and this is my first time doing this, so please click the link, Rock. I just want to hear you guys' stories or opinions or your thoughts on this matter because it's really been bothering me a lot ever since I think I got triggered with the Shankola thing, like I told y'all. Um, because it's just so sad that these people, the longevity of the friendships, like 7 years, 5 years, 3 years. I mean, this wasn't like short friendships. Like not like you met these people 6 months ago and then y'all went somewhere and something happened. It's like, dude, like these were her friend. Like these were people she should have been able to trust. And it's just mind blowing that I don't know shit. Maybe that's the wrong link. Cause I just took it from the thing in the URL, so that probably was wrong. Let me see. Hold on. Um, um, and I closed all the damn hold on, Rock. I closed all of the things to the YouTube. Hold on, let me try this real quick. I hope this is right. Oh no, that can't be right. What the hell? Why they do all that? Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure it out, child. Hold on. It just copied a whole big old huge gigantic thing. What the hell? Hold on, I did something wrong. Hold on. Hold on, babies. Give me 1 second. Let me go back to this real quick. Y'all know what I'm doing, child. I don't know if that's the one I'm supposed to copy. Y'all know it's my first time. Stop playing, okay? All right, let me see if that works. All right, I just pinned something else. Try that one, Rock. I think that's it. I hope that's it, girl. Don't give me the lion, child. Well, we'll click it and we gonna see. Shit, I don't know. Um. Okay. Hey, we got it. We got it. Hey, I think we got it. Okay, Samantha. Okay, y'all see it? Okay, and y'all can hear me too. Okay, good. Samantha, go ahead and unmute yourself, baby.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, hi. Can y'all hear Samantha? Say something, Sam.
Hi. I just wanted
Talk
to
a little bit
say,
louder, baby.
all right, let me turn off my fan.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Samantha with the little bitty voice has something to say, and I can't hear her. Can y'all hear her?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, if you talk up a little bit more for me, please, or turn your phone up or something.
Um, am I loud enough now?
Come on, baby. Come on with it. We gonna just struggle. Listen. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say thank you for being vulnerable with us because I've been watching your channel for like I think a month now, and I do want to know more about you, and you are like so wise, and you really did help me along my spiritual journey because I met my twin flame in like I want to say 3 years since I met my twin flame, and you've helped me understand like my journey more. And I just want to say thank you, and thank you for being vulnerable with us. That's it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, and that's really what I do this for. I try my best, to let my own experiences that I've had be a lesson for other people. So I'm really glad that it is helping you, and I hope that I can continue to do that. But I do ask, even though I thank you for giving me the compliment of on my wisdom. But please understand that I am a work in progress. I'm learning every day. I don't know everything, and you won't always agree with everything that I say, but I would definitely want you to stick around so you can just get I can pour into you and the people around you if possible. But I thank you very much for calling in, sweetheart.
No problem. Thank you. I'm the lead now.
Okay. Have a nice day.
You
Okay. Who was here next? Who want to go next? Rock, you want to go?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, how you doing, boo?
I am okay. First of all, I thank you. I thank your big mama and the ancestors who come through when you give readings, and you have no idea. Well, I know you have an idea, but it resonates so deeply. And it seems like your family, I also grew up in New York. Your family seems to be a lot like mine, which is why I have nothing to do with 99% of them.
Yeah.
I had mentioned in the chat that I have problems with my daughter. They're my fault.
Mm-hmm.
They're all my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I still struggle with maintaining the idea that I have worth and value. And I could teach a class on how to self-sabotage because
Yeah.
I'm still way too good at it. And so, I'm working my way through it. And so last night I actually opened my Akashic records.
Mm.
I could get a look and close my records, and then I did a past life regression so that I can go back to the source of where the problem is.
Mm-hmm.
Generations of pain and suffering in my family it seems like it goes back to the beginning of time. My
Yeah.
mother was raped and sodomized when she was 11 years old by a family friend.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, because I didn't know, I actually didn't find that out until shortly after her death in 2020. She died unexpectedly in February 2020. I always knew there was something wrong with my mother, but I didn't know what, because she couldn't talk about it. All she said is that she had a nervous breakdown when she was 11, but could never talk about it. So I asked her sister what happened, and she told me, and I was like, okay, so now I understand. But, the thing is, I had worked really hard on forgiveness toward my mother, and I'm now trying to turn that forgiveness toward myself. And that's the hard thing.
I struggle with that as well. One of the things that I think helped me with that whole process is just accepting my shit. Accepting that, what, I made mistakes. I wasn't perfect. I didn't do everything right. Because I think sometimes as parents, we tend to be harder on ourselves than we think we are. And one of the things I think that helped me with that process was my children, talking to them, sitting them down and saying, okay, how do you feel? Even though I'm not gonna lie, girl, on my inside parts, I was like, these motherfuckers is lying on me. Like, no. But I was like, no, I knew what my intent was. I'm going to work, I'm paying the bills, I'm holding it down, I'm doing all of these things. And I was, at a point in time on public assistance, but I was wise with it. I didn't go to the projects. I moved them to one of the richest neighborhoods in the United States, one of the safest places children could live, the best schools. And, I struggled paying the bills. Even though I was getting all this public assistance, I was still struggling because I was trying to make sure they were safe and they were okay. But when I sat down with them and they started telling me, oh, Mama, you made me feel like this, and you made me feel like you liked him better than me, and you did this, you did. Girl, when I tell you, my soul was screaming inside of me like, these niggas is lying. But when I sat back and dissected, and I had to remember, like, you parent them individually, even though they're all in the same home, they're individual people. So yes, they all have the same rules. Yes, when I buy toys, I try to make sure everybody has something, but they're individuals. I don't have to yell at one of my sons. I could just look at him. He'd be like, all right, Mama, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Now my oldest son, girl, listen, I got to go in his room, climb on top of him, kiss all over him, shake him, tickle him, cry, and then clear my tears before he listened. That's just what it was. They were different. And I had to understand that they saw me different than what I saw myself. And that helped me. I think that if you sit your daughter down and you talk to her and ask her how she feels, and don't say shit, just let her talk. Let her tell you how she feels. And she's not wrong because it's how she feels. And
Mhm.
and even though it wasn't your intention, if you made her feel that way, simply say you're sorry, accept what she said to you, and ask spirit to show me how she feels. Let me feel what she felt. And then you can start the healing process, because you're not going to understand it until you feel it. And I'm going to tell you what's going to trigger you to make you feel it. You're going to start thinking about when you was that age and how you felt.
Yeah,
That's what's going to do.
yeah, definitely. What I want people to know is that we're all effed up
Yes,
in
Lord.
some way.
Mm-hmm.
And it is our job. And I am the seventh child, born on the seventh day of the seventh month.
Mm.
And so I know, and I'm one of 9 children. The 6 ahead of me and the 2 behind me were all born in the hospital. I'm the only one born at home.
Mm.
And I look like my mother. There are 5 girls in the family. I'm the only one who looks like our mom.
Mm.
And so I understand the burden that I carry. And I now get that it's my job to end the curse.
Yeah. And that's a very big, gigantic, huge responsibility. So just be patient with yourself and move with however you need to move. If you need to cry, just feel it, because
Mhm.
you don't know where those tears is coming from sometimes. Sometimes you crying for people you ain't never even met in your family, girl. I'm telling you, this shit get deep. When you really start to experience this dark night of the soul, it gets really deep. And I try to warn people of that, because sometimes you crying for generations of pain and don't even know it. I cried for like 2-3 months straight when I first started my journey. I was like, why am I crying so much? I was like, I need to take a pregnancy test, but I got spayed and neutered and shit when I was younger, so I knew I was pregnant, but I was just, it was so weird. But I know now why I was weeping. I was weeping for all those women in my family that had been traumatized, all of the grapes that had happened, and all the toe tags, and all the women whose husbands never came back home because he was somewhere hanging from a tree. I know what it was now, but at the time I didn't understand it. So just be patient with yourself. And girl, we can sit here and talk forever, but I got some other people on here I
I
want to
know.
hear
So I
it.
was going to say, I'm going to go. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you so much for calling in, Rock. You have a good
Yeah.
day, okay?
You too. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, KM, you've been here for a minute. You want to go next, KM? You can go ahead and unmute yourself, baby. That food
Yes,
look good.
yeah, thank you, thank you. Look, I'm so glad you did this live. I'm so happy
Okay.
to see you. And look, I just wanted to tell you, you post as many pictures as you want, honey, because when I saw your picture, it was just imbued with such confidence and beauty. And I just felt all that energy coming out of the picture. And I showed your video to my daughters. I have 3 daughters. And I showed your video to them because, you know, they sometimes because they're teenagers, so they deal with that up and down insecurity. You know, it's up and down. It's not just one, it's always up and down sometimes. And it could be things that they may be watching on social media or whatever. But I showed them your video, and my daughter was like, I get it now. I understand. I get it. I understand. So I just want you to know that I thought your picture was beautiful.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, if this will help anyone, because I too experienced abuse from my mom. And I just vowed, since I had daughters, not to repeat anything negative that she's done. I'll take the positive things that she's done, but never
Mm-hmm.
to repeat any negative thing that she done to me. I won't do it because, you know, I was called bees and all that stuff when I was coming up. I don't call my daughter those names. And I also vowed not to ever say a negative thing about women ever again in my life, because it may be some trauma that they may have experienced, childhood trauma or pain or anything like that they may be going through, and they haven't reached a certain level where, like, you know how some of us are aware of certain things that our moms have done to us, and so we operate on a different level. Everybody's not at that place, and I'm still growing. I'm
Right.
still trying to master things within myself. And I also want to say that it was a thing that I had taught my daughters to always defend one another, even when it comes to their friends. You know, the people that, you know, how we use the friend loosely, but, you know, they understand a lot of the things that go along with this. But it was one time my daughter, she told me that she was on the phone. They was on like a Zoom thing, and there was some boys on there too. And the boys was like trying to get them to compete with one another. These are teenagers, so he was trying to get them to compete, like saying like, "Oh, your friend look better than you. She this, she that." So I always told my daughters, when you see boys doing that, don't give in to the competition. You all defend each other. Yes, my friend is beautiful. She's all that, you know, and she's a reflection of me. You say things like that, and it stops the competition. One of the boys got so mad. He said, "You all always trying to take up for each other on that women's stuff." You know, that's what he started saying to the
Oh,
girls. And I was
wow.
like, look, this is what we're supposed to be doing, you know, when it comes to us, because we like to compete and compare. And I teach my daughters not to compete or compare themselves to one another, because everybody got their own gifts inside of them. So you have no reason to be jealous of each other. If you look within yourself, it's some things in you that God has put in us, you know, the source has put in us, your own creations and things that you can do. And each one they do have different gifts, because each pregnancy is different, you know. Because some of my daughters know how to draw, some of them are just naturally inclined for music, all that type of stuff. So yeah, I just want to say that
Well,
those three
thank you
things. That's
so
all I
much.
want to say.
And amen. I'm glad that you breaking those cycles with your daughters. Keep up the good
Yep.
work. And I got your back if
Mm-hmm.
nobody else do, girl.
And I just love your energy. I really do. And you did my reading for my mother. I was laughing so hard because that's exactly how she told me that she is the type that would just speak her mind and she don't care. That's exactly how she is. It was so funny. I'm like, my mother is, how does she know? I'm like, she is like that. My mother is just crazy. But I love her and I forgive her for everything that she did to me, you know, because
Yeah.
that helped
And,
turn me, you know, I'm the person I am. Mm-hmm.
that's another thing too. See, my mother passed away when I was 17. And I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the things too
Sorry to hear.
that goes along with this healing is we do have to learn how to forgive our parents for the shit that they
Yes.
didn't know, especially if they're actually trying to change. Like if they
Yeah.
just stuck in their ways, that's one thing. But if they say, hey, look, you know, I want to figure this out. I realize that I did something wrong. You have to give them the opportunity to change. And nobody's saying they're going to be perfect. Nobody's saying they're going to do everything right. But this hate, this cycle of hate that I see happening amongst us, we got to nip this in the bud ASAP, because I see this going left.
Oh,
Like,
and you
for
know,
real.
one more thing, if I can, real quick.
Mm-hmm.
My daughters, they was watching a few these series and I just noticed a pattern in the series. It was like Gossip Girl, a few other series that like for teenagers. And I noticed
Mm-hmm.
in almost all the series, either the teenage girls were either going against each other, laughing, bullying, all that type of stuff, and or they were going against their mom, like this weird attitude thing that the teenage girls would have towards their mothers. And I was like, I wonder if this part of the programming that like where we get, because there's a root cause of where this stuff is coming from, you know. And I think some of it is part of the programming as well, you know,
Well,
because I
here's the
noticed
thing.
yeah.
They only highlight shit that they already see going on. See, a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times it takes a bird's eye view. When you're in the middle of something and it's happening, you don't really see it the way other
Right.
people on the outside see it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is their perspective of what they see. So they're just highlighting it like they do every damn thing else. That's all. We have to start understanding what's going on around us. I
Yeah.
think sometimes because we're in the middle of it, we're in the middle of the fight, and we're like, oh, you know, we're mistreated and we're oppressed and this is happening and the laws and this and that. We don't realize the toxic shit that we're doing right here that's happening in our own face, amongst our own people, amongst
Yeah.
us as women, you know, our men and the children and everything else. Sometimes we miss it because we're too busy focused on what's going on outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we have to clean our own backyard first. We got to start home first. We got to fix this shit between us before we can go coming at somebody else about police brutality and this and that or whatever, when we toe tagging each other faster than we giving birth.
That's true. That's true. And another thing, this is my last point. They were
I got some
saying
other
that
people waiting.
I'm sorry, this is the last thing real quick. So my higher self told me to say this. So they were saying like our unity as women is very, very powerful. We're almost like circuits with one another. So once we unite in our energy and things like that, this why I personally think that it was something done to us to like keep us at odds with each other, because I was hearing that even some men are afraid of that energy once we unite energetically.
Of course. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
it is something that was done. I will talk about that another time, girl. Because look, they ain't finna flag this damn video today.
Oh,
Y'all gonna
okay.
get this
All right.
message
So it's
today.
one of those type of topics. I get it.
Yeah, it's spiritual and physical stuff going on. That's the reason why a lot of us are being moved to like change our diets and stop eating out and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. It's a lot to it. The rabbit hole goes really deep. It really
Yeah, I
does.
get it. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
But thank
Thank
you
you.
so
I
much for
appreciate you
coming in,
though.
baby.
Okay, love you. I
Yeah.
love y'all. All right.
All right, love you too. Be
Okay.
safe.
Thank you.
All right. Who was next? Was it KM? I think KM family. Yeah, it was KM family. If you ready,
That
KM.
was me. I just spoke.
Oh, that's
Okay.
you. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Pink Light was. Wait, was it Pink Light or was it M? I think it was MLE Malay. I think. I hope I'm doing this shit in order. I saw Pink Light, but I thought MLE was already here. Malay,
Hello,
Malay. How you say your name,
M-
baby? Hi,
Malay.
Malay. Okay.
Yes,
How you
ma'am.
doing?
I'm good in yourself.
I'm doing fantastic.
I just wanted to add to this segment. One, what you said, I don't remember specifically what day it was, but I remember you going live and you were telling your viewers to like, get more in tune with your family and, the people they were and who, they were growing up and who raised them and their story, because it'll help you
Mhm.
understand yourself better. And it's
Yes.
just ever since I started listening to like certain people, and you included, it's just everything seems very intentional, like when I hear it and then what plays out afterwards, because I happen to be taking a family trip to, see some family down south. And I was down there for a few weeks and got to know them a little better than I did before, because when I was a kid, I would just come out and visit for like, a week or two. And so I
Mhm.
was able to really understand one, who my mother was, because of being around her parents more. My pop-up is like old school country militant Marine for 30 plus years. Like he's he's always been, very chill pop-up to me. But again, at this visit, I saw a side of him that I wasn't used to. but it automatically connected dots between when my mom would, get upset with me, she would disappoint me, versus when, he just went to a 0 to 100. And I was like, oh, okay, this is not, specific to my mom, because I was just like, I don't understand how you can behave this way. But I was like, okay, this was a learned behavior. And we actually had bumped heads because the response he wanted out of me wasn't one that he was getting. And I'm somebody who, like, I'm going to ask questions if I don't understand. So I was just asking him, like, why are you upset with me? Like, what am I doing to make you, react this way? And I felt like that was making him even more mad. And he came back later and he eventually, like, apologized, because he realized I wasn't budging, because I knew, like, I didn't deserve that, type of interaction with him. But he kept saying, and everybody else was telling me, like, yeah, usually we just shut down. We don't say anything. Like, usually we just stop talking, especially my mom. She's always been like that. And I was just very, I guess, enamored with the fact that there was this whole family, these people that I'm related to, that, have this same kind of trauma response to a certain situation. And I've always been the black sheep, because that's never been my response. Like, I've always, like, I'm going to try to figure out what the heck is going on. Like, and a lot of times, your parental figure can see it as disrespect to, like, question them. But for me, it was just like, I needed to understand what was going on. So seeing that and understanding, like, it just helped me kind of, I wouldn't say desensitize myself from that type of trauma that I experienced as a kid, but it just let me kind of let it go a little more, because I understood that that wasn't even personal for her. That was a learned behavior from, her parental figure, who I'm sure learned it from his. And it's like, I feel like the more and more, like, I just kind of sit back and analyze everything, it just makes me figure out, one, who I am as a person and why I do what I do. But it helps me respond better to when, people have certain isms, they have certain responses that can be different from yours, or that you can start to judge people, like, why are you so angry, or why do you respond this way? And, like, I feel like we're not used to being told to, like, ask questions. It's just, this is the way things are. This is the way things have always been, especially in, like, a Black parent household. It's just, my mom raised me like this, so I'm raising you like this. And it's like all that trauma is, like, built up, and it could be, like, relieved even, like, an inch just from understanding, like, just a conversation, not even I do this because of this, but, just telling your story, because our parents don't want us to know nothing. We, like, they're just, parents to us instead of people.
And that's one of the, I think, the most dangerous things that is happening amongst our community is these damn secrets. Nobody want to be honest about nothing. You get these women that was doing all types of strange shit. Let me tell you, one day I was sitting back watching that movie, Ray. Remember that movie, Ray, about Ray Charles?
Yeah.
And, Ray was, like, this popular singer, like, way back in, like, the 40s and the 30s and shit. And, girl, I was watching them women on there. Let me tell you, I was traumatized, because I was like, these is like a lot of our grandmas. Mm-hmm. And they were showing their behinds in that movie. But what here's what I mean, right? If we want this thing to heal, the younger people like yourself, first of all, hats off to you for that, for standing up for yourself and not allowing somebody to gaslight you and make you stand down because of some, authority that they feel like they have because they're your parents or whatever, what have you. That breeds narcissism and sociopathic behavior. It absolutely does.
And I think they don't always mean to do it, but it's going to end up happening. You might not have the intent to be narcissistic, but your behavior will, produce those patterns, and boom, all of a sudden now you're a narcissist because your intent wasn't originally there, but you kept repeating the same behavior because it was easier than, just finding another way. Like, I'm not the type of person you could just yell in my face and I'm just going to, take it in, right? Like, I will get irritated, but if you talk to me like, a human being with respect, we can always come to understanding. And it's just like, that's something small, but, like, that's what I mean when it's like, the behaviors are just so, quote unquote, traditional. They're so repetitive that nobody stops and it's like, wait, why am I doing this? What result am I actually getting from this?
Well, here's the thing, the secrets, right? If nobody tells us the dark parts of what has happened in the past, if they don't tell us the issues that our grandmothers had, our mothers had, her mother had, these traumatic things that happen, how do we heal it if we don't know it's there? Right. Some people have anxiety for shit that they don't even know runs in their family. Some
Mm-hmm.
people can get in a car and don't understand why they fear driving. When 10 people in their family in the past done had accidents and got toe tagged in a car
Mm-hmm.
accident. And because don't nobody want to talk about it, because it's the big elephant in the room, we don't know that. We don't know to go and, pre-trip our vehicles every time because something freaky happens with our family, or the women have been, great for centuries and centuries and nobody
Mm-hmm.
said anything. And we'll get anxiety. Our spirit will be telling us like, hey, something's going on here. But because nobody's talking about it, we don't know it's there. So we just go get some medicine and think that we just tripping. And that's not
Right. We
what it
always
is.
take it
Listen,
personally.
yeah, your body reacts to what is
Mm-hmm.
in your blood. If there's trauma in your DNA, your body is going to react to it. People don't understand autoimmune disorders,
Mm-hmm.
alopecia, all of that shit. That's DNA trauma. Anything that they say is genetic, that's dealing with your DNA. And people are not connecting the dots. And I'm trying to get people to come together so we can connect these damn dots, so we can start healing this trauma that's going on amongst our people. Because if we sitting back and waiting for somebody to lead us or somebody to come and save us, we're doomed, man. This shit is up to us.
Exactly. It's like it would take
And
literally
good
one
job.
person just doing what they need to do for our entire community to just get it together. Every person would just have to be a good citizen, in their terms. Like nobody needs to do extra stuff for everybody to just all of a sudden come together. It would just you would all singularly need to just do what's best for you. And that would just because everybody has the same interest, that would work out. That's how other communities work. Like they're just like, I need to do this best for me, and I'm part of this community, so that would have to do with something that's best for me. So I'm a not litter, I'm a not treat the
Right,
women publicly
right.
this
The
way, I'm not
outwardly
like
shit. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just it
And
just
but
it's
see,
common
and I
sense.
think as Black people, we have to start focusing on the inward stuff, because the outwardly, we already see what's going on with the outward community. But what I think people are not putting together, whatever is happening internally, manifests outwardly. So
Yeah,
the
very
reason why the
much.
Black community looks the way that it looks, and there's death every 5 minutes, and the men are toe tagging each other all over the place, and the women are low self-esteem, because this is what we really feel like on the inside. It's just manifesting
Mm.
itself on
And
the
it's
outside.
embedded, exactly, because you can take that's why there's that sense of the good guys or the good girls, and they're so easily corrupted because that's an act. But if you have this genetic trauma response of your people are usually doing this, or the people that you come from usually respond this way, you're more inclined to respond the same way eventually.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Wow. Excellent, excellent, excellent points. I want to tilt my hat to you and tell you good job, and you keep standing up for yourself and keep doing your self work, and hopefully they'll get on board. If not, we just gonna run that ass over. But thank you so much for
Yes, yes,
calling
they're
in,
gonna run
baby.
it ass over. Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you. Okay, pink light. If you're ready, we're ready for you, darling.
Hi, Queen.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm happy that you brought up this topic because as I gracefully age, your page has taught me to heal my inner traumas independently and get through everything. So I do want to thank you for that. A message that I wanna, what's the question? Sorry.
No, it's not really a question. I just wanted you guys to share with me, any traumatic experiences that you had. We're talking about toxic femininity. So basically, if you have anything you want to add to what I already said, or you have a story, or, something that could help somebody out there, or you just want to express yourself.
Okay, yeah. What I never understood about female relations between each other is this envy and jealousy that we have against each other. Now, me personally, I haven't been jealous or envious of anybody. I'm like, I'm the friend that's always cheering you on to do your best. So, like, it's just sad to see because I'm gonna tell you a story. One time I had a friend, she's mixed. So And to tell you the honest truth, I've never really had any Black girlfriends, which always broke my heart. But anyways, she was mixed, and we were planning to go out, but this was before COVID, and she had gotten really, really sick. And this is just when the rumors were flying around. So I begged her. I'm like, listen, I understand you want to go out, but if you don't go to the doctors, I cannot go out with you tonight because you're sick and I'm not trying to get sick. Anyways, I forced her to go to the doctor. And because I was coming from work and really tired, when we were supposed to meet up, I ended up just waking up at that time and called her and let her know, I'm not going to be able to make it. Can we reschedule? And she cursed me out. And basically, I never heard from her again. It's been about like almost 5 years. And that was the last friend I had since then. I've had a lot of traumatizing experiences, especially to do with health. But I stopped looking for girlfriends specifically because I'm like, they're too hard to please. You always have to prove yourself to them. And even when you put your best foot forward, it's never good enough. And I
How
don't
old are
have
you?
guy friends anymore because the last two guy friends I had, I was sexually assaulted by them. So yeah, I just don't
Yeah,
understand why women are so short-tempered with each other and so jealous and envious.
how old are you?
Uh, I'm in the last days of my 20s. I'm turning 29 soon.
Okay, baby, you still young. Don't be scared to say that. Okay, love who you are, all of you. Don't be scared to say that. Let me tell you, right? I've had guy friends, but one of the things that I think saved me a lot, because I've had some guy friends that were really rough around the edges, only because my environment. I came up in a very tough environment. I'm from New York. Anybody who knows women who are from New York, a lot of us were not liked amongst many because we have to really be tough. The guys will fight us like they fight dudes in the streets. They talk to us all type of crazy. So we have to have a different type of shield on. And one of the things I think that saved me in a lot of the relationships that I had with people that were rough around the edges is it because I grew up in that tough environment. When I went out in other places in the world, a lot of times I found myself protected because I was so rough. I was so sharp. I had to pay attention to my intuition a lot in New York. You can't just walk down the street and walk your dog like a normal person in the hood. You know what I'm saying? You got to be watching everything. You have to be aware of what's going on. You got to know what everybody's thinking. So it kind of taught me to use my intuition. Of course, at the time, I didn't realize that. But the reason why I stopped hanging out with females is because I always had to fight every damn female friend I had. And I started looking, I said, damn, I done spent all this money on bail. Okay. And I keep getting it. Every time we get in a fight, I'm always the one getting drug off the jail. Everybody pressing charges on my ass. I said, this is costing me too much money. And I really had to sit down and evaluate why I was being triggered to react the way that I was reacting, because my spirit was picking up on their energy. Like I knew they wanted to hurt me. They wanted to harm me, but it happened to me when I was younger. So I understand where you're coming from. But one thing I want to encourage you is to just count your blessings, because sometimes a person's rejection is actually your protection. And I know it don't look like that all the time. Sometimes it hurt when you want to be friends with somebody and y'all got longevity, or y'all been friends since y'all was younger in school and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, y'all can't be cool no more. But count your blessings. If you're not dealing with nobody right now, I'm pretty sure it's for your protection. So just be okay with that.
Oh no, I'm perfectly fine. It's just the topic came up and I was like, yeah, all my female relationships, I don't know, they're not in the, and usually people would say you're the problem if all or certain things are not working out in your favor. But I mean, I'm pretty calm, I'm very open. You're my Aries sister. I don't know if you see me in the comments a few times. I always call you my Aries sister, but we are hot tempered, but like I'm very understanding with other people because I've been through so much myself. I would hate for someone to judge me off of my experiences or my past troubles. But for the ladies in the chat, like there's something that we need to do as Black women. And I think that's every time we come into communication with each other, just please try to be nice. Like, why do you have to roll your eye at me if I'm smiling at you in the store? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you. I'm straight. I like men. And if I see another beautiful Black sister in the store, I like to acknowledge her. You know what I mean? Because like I've studied a lot of Black history, and the trauma is, sorry, I'm hearing an echo, but the trauma is so deep, guys. It's not worth it to be screw facing each other each other every time we see each other. Like, it's so weird to me, and we're the only ones that do it to each other. I remember I was in Walmart and there was these two Muslim girls, and they look white. They didn't even look like they were from the Middle East, but they looked at each other. They didn't know each other from any past life, and they started calling each other sister and smiling. And I was with my boyfriend at the time, and I just looked at him and I felt so embarrassed, because it's just like, that will never happen between two Black girls. Instead of praising each other and saying, thank you, my beautiful sister, we're gonna cross eyes at each other and create competition for no reason. We need to stop that, because clearly our men are not behaving, and the whole world is looking at us, observing us, and confirming all of their false negative assumptions about us, you know? Like, I hate going online and seeing Black girls cry about Black guys. Honey, go outside, put on your best outfit, make sure your hair is always cute, and see how many other men will walk up to you. You know what I mean? And like, just the negativity has to stop. There's a lot of negativity in the community, and it just has to stop. And if the women don't stop it, it's going to continue. That's just how I feel.
Well said. Well said. Okay, baby. I'm going to move on to the next person because I got to get off here in a little bit. But thank you so much for calling in.
Okay, Queen. Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Sandra. Sandra, you're ready? I'm ready for you.
Okay.
Okay, hold on one second. Let this be the last two people that I have on here, Sandra and China T. Let those be the last two to click the link, because I gotta do a reading at 7. So we're gonna hear you two out and then I'm gonna go. But okay, Sandra, sorry about that.
Okay. Okay, where to start? Well, hello, Queen. This is actually kind of exciting. Okay, but yeah, I love your topics. I love watching your video, your tarot. You're awesome. By the way, you're welcome. I just want to just get on here, just basically just explaining a little bit of my piece. So basically, I'm from, not that I'm from, but my family is from a small town, Clarksdale, Mississippi. And so that's the crossroad where the blues had happened. And so just being in that small town of like 700 people, you get to see like how our people are, like the town itself. Like, since, I'm 31. And so since I've been like a little girl till like now, like you can see the town like going down as far as our people. Like when we went down there for our last little vacation, I don't know, we're going down as a people. And I don't know if it's because of us, as far as, I know you speaking of like the women and us having difficulties interaction. And I wanted to speak on, like, is it because spiritually dead? Like, does the devil like have like a hold like on? That's why I brought up the crossroad, because I know we had a famous blues singer, who became famous down there. Is it because the devil got like a hold of our mindset? Like, why are we keep going downwards and not able to, come up like as like a people, like even as women. I don't know if it's like the sex energy or whatever, because I know when we're very intimate, we exchange energy. So is their energy rubbing off on us to where we can't elevate because we're so intertwined with our men? Is what my point that I was coming from. Like we trying to pull away, but it seemed like the sex keep bringing us back, like because we have like this, full on, like, I think it's like a sexual type of soul exchange, because when you in the midst, if he says something, we'll repeat it like yes, and like, so what is it that's bringing us like down, like we can't come together? Like I want to see change happen, but I don't even know where to like start, besides inner, of course, myself. But what is the hold on us as a community is what I'm trying to ask, is my question.
Well, here's the thing. I think that because people, okay, so every other nationality people have a subgroup, right? So you can get a whole group of white people together and they'd be like, oh, I'm German, oh, I'm Italian, oh, I'm Irish, I'm this, I'm that, and that's totally acceptable, right? But let's take a black person that is from Jamaica. Let's take a black person that's from Africa. Let's take a black person that's from Puerto Rico, another black person from Dominican Republic. They're going to still say they're black, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to be an individual when it comes to black. Black is just black. You don't get to separate yourself. You don't get to say, oh no, I come from this really great family. They're going to be like, no, your community is fucked up. So no, you just black and y'all ain't shit, right? I think that because we have been taught to look at exterior, okay, we don't pay attention to what's happening spiritually, what's going on your inside. On the inside, we're not the same. Okay, so it would be similar to me being a white person saying, I'm not from Britain, I'm from Italy, right? It would be similar to that, but on the inside. So spiritually, we're different people. We think different. We behave different. We emote different. We raise our children different. We clean different. We do things differently. But because Black is just one big subgroup, nobody is looking at the separation of our cultures, where we come from, how there are big differences amongst Black people. They're taking the things that are similar and they're blending us all up in this big old pot, and they're saying, oh no, they're all just Black. Listen, you come from good stock or you don't come from good stock. You come from a place where you want to heal or you come from a place where you don't want to heal. The problem is we don't understand that we're not all related. Yes, we all have the same skin tone, but we aren't all the same people. We're not. We might behave similarly, we may look similarly, but we are not the same. And until we start setting ourselves apart, which it talks about this in the Bible a lot. It talks about how God's people have to set themselves apart. How do they set themselves apart? Their behavior is what sets them apart. Okay. So until we start taking that in its totality and applying it to our own households, no matter what the hell's going on in the world, we have to make sure I'm being set apart for, yes, I am a part of the Black community because you put me there. But I'm going to set myself apart by behaving with a person with manners, a person who pays their taxes on time, somebody who keeps their yard clean, somebody who disciplines their children properly, somebody who talks instead of fights, somebody who is not running around here toe tagging people, somebody who doesn't steal, somebody who's not mean and angry. This is how we set ourselves apart. That way, instead of you running around thinking somebody your friend on vacation and getting toe tagged, you can say, oh, wait, we ain't the same. I can tell by the way you talk. I can tell by the way your house looks. I can tell by the way you treat people. We're not the same. And we know to just remove ourselves. So I think sometimes we give the devil just a little bit too much credit for shit that people do with their own free will. Don't get me wrong. Is there some demonic energy floating around in the earth? Hell yeah, I believe it is. I do. I don't think people get possessed and everything else. Yes, I believe that. But I don't think the devil is responsible for all of the things that we see happen. I think some of these people are simply being who it is that they are in their DNA.
Like, I don't as far think as that, do you think that's it? That's that's their spirit? Like, it's like, are we born this way, or are we?
Yes. I believe that whatever you are, it's you. Now, are there some people whose DNA has been altered due to trauma? Absolutely. But that's the reason why it's so important that we tackle this trauma and we change it so that you can't set yourself apart if every day you're hanging around a bunch of people who haven't dealt with their trauma and y'all sit around and trauma bond. You're not going to ever be able to change that. You're going to create a cycle of another group of people that's going to come in and complain and keep bonding over trauma. If that's not what you want, you have to change it. And sometimes, unfortunately, we have to leave behind family. We have to stop talking to our mamas. Some of us have to leave our daddies alone. Some of us can't deal with our children's fathers and mothers. Some of us can't even deal with family, period, because we have to figure out a way to break these cycles. Some of them don't even realize that that's what's going on, but a lot of this is trauma. And we have to heal it in order to find our listen, these people aren't going to give us a separate group. We have to separate our own selves from this shit. If we're tired of looking at seeing what's going on in this community, we have to set ourselves apart. And the way we do that is we behave like we got some damn sense.
Okay, I can understand that, but I'm just saying, okay, okay, us for instance, we're behaving, but the people like that's like around us, like, what if they? I mean, because you don't see much change. Like, yes, I may be behaving, my household is good, but when we step out, it's like, can be like, damn, they're like all hell breaking loose, and so then therefore the children got to be exposed to whatever they see. As far as I got a son right now, as far as like my son, seeing the young boys and how they dress and act, like, how am I supposed to, because right now I don't have a daughter to speak on, I just have my son, and of course I'm having issues with the father, whatever. But anyway, just trying to give him like some good peer groups is what I'm trying to speak on. It's like, okay, I may teach you all the credentials here, because I know sometimes, like, we speak on, like, we pray and we pray and we pray, and it seems like when it comes to the men, like, it don't change. Like, how? Because I think if our men change, like, won't it help us change too? But they not trying to change, but we trying to heal. But it seems like they not trying to heal, and they just keep putting us in this recycling factor, because we have like this almost like unconditional love. Like, we still love y'all, but y'all still keep continuing to keep hurting us, and then we get re-injured, and now the cycle keeps going on because of our other counterparts, and probably and it's probably due to some trauma we went through. So how do we, like, when we step out from our box, like, how do we, like, find our community of people then?
You have to separate listen, there's many after school programs, you got sports, you have the chess club. Listen, Black people, we just gonna have to get our asses on board, and we gonna have to start doing the things that are available. Now, when I was younger, we had things like the YMCA, the schools would have after school stuff. They stopped all of that. They don't have any of that stuff anymore.
Right. That's the problem. Yeah, go ahead.
But there's other resources out there. There's other things that your children can be involved in. They could be a part of a big brother, big sister program. They could be in sports. They could be doing something else with their time. They could be out there, go buy them a damn lawnmower and have them going out cutting grass. If it's snowing in your area, go get him a shovel. Get him, find him something to do that's going to put some money in his pockets and keep his mind occupied, so he's not running around chasing behind a bunch of people that ain't got nothing to do. I'm going to tell you something. The worst thing you can do is give somebody an idle mind. There's a saying that they used to say back in the day: an idle mind is Satan's workshop. If you give a person ain't got nothing to do, if ain't nothing to do in the house, find something. Hey, come over here. Let's paint these walls. Hey, come on. Listen, I don't let my boys sit around too long, even as adults. I'd be like, come on. Y'all sitting around too much. Hold on. Let's do this. I just made them redo they just renovated my whole damn house damn near. And I ain't done yet. I'm not about to let my early 20-year-old son sit around with too much time on their hands, because eventually they're going to click a damn Kevin Samuels video and then think they finna talk to me crazy. Now I got to pop a cap of one of my kids. I'm not doing that. And unfortunately, sis, it's sad that we can't lean on these men, these so-called men, our so-called men, because they're not stepping up to the mantle of manhood and doing what they have to do for their children. But we know that. So what are we complaining? If we already know that they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing and haven't been for quite some time, what good is it going to do for me to get up here and complain about it? Let's find the damn solutions. Let's figure it out. Look, they don't want to be a part of this. They made that very clear. They don't care about the community. They don't want to help it. They don't want to heal it. So let's heal
Right.
ourselves. Let's heal our own damn family. Let's heal our households. So at
Mm-hmm.
least when we're out and about and I'm walking through the store and I smile and you smile back, I say, damn, well, she might be doing the work. Let's set our own selves apart. They don't give a shit about us. They don't care about the community. They don't care about the children. So why should we care? Why should we? Let's talk about them for what? Care about what they think for what? They don't, sis, when they start caring, we'll start seeing the community looking a lot better than what it looked like. We'll see them flocking to the damn therapists and the counselors. They're not doing that. So we can't worry about what they're doing. If they want to self-destruct, let them. What you gonna do? You gonna mess around and get a heart attack out here fooling with these men? Let them
Yeah.
go. Let them do what it is that they gonna do. But Sandra, I gotta get to China. I gotta get
Yeah.
off of here in like 10 minutes. So let me go ahead and thank her. Thank you so much for calling in. You made some really good valid points. I'm gonna go back and watch this and probably take some notes and come back on here for y'all. But this is, yeah, you right, girl.
Okay. Okay. All right. I appreciate you, though. I just come in with my few little questions, you know.
Well, thank you and have a nice day, okay?
Okay. You too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, Miss China, you're up next, darling.
Do you hear me?
I can hear you. How you doing?
Please, page. Okay, listen. Miss Lady.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, you coming from Detroit? Okay, shout out to Detroit over here. And I first off, I'm gonna make this real quick. I don't think words can really comprehend how grateful I am to have even found your page, found your information. I was just like kind of just done with I was going through a lot with like my family, people that I was in relationships with, and I was just like, you know what, there's something wrong here. It may be me, but right now it's looking like y'all, but it may be me too. And then I just started stumbling across different people's YouTube channels that was talking about like getting help, getting better and whatnot. And I eventually came to you, and I'm just like, wow, like I didn't know back then how male identified I was. Like I thought that, I just every now and then it was just like, maybe a couple of relationships. I just did a couple of things that was just no, I was knee deep in there. I was pretty deep. And when I was like with and just learning upon under you guys, especially you, I was like, wow, I didn't know I was that bad. I thought that, I was doing good. But
all of
y'all are
us come
just
from a place of male identification. I think that
yeah.
acknowledging it and then changing it is what is really the big deal. Not being a part of it because it's a part of the culture.
Yeah.
Our grandmothers did it, our mothers did it, our aunties doing it. Now, some of them still doing it. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's,
So I mean that
completely.
part is not the fault. I don't find fault in that, in coming up with doing what we taught to listen to our parents. So of course we do what we're taught. But my thing is, I think where we err is when we get a certain age and we don't look and our brain don't click and say, okay, wait a minute, something ain't right here. Cause I don't see anything change. I don't see things getting better. So let me switch things up a little bit. That part is on us. Once we become accountable for our own actions, I think when we don't change it, that's when it becomes dangerous. And we see the result of it. I mean, look at this place. Look at that damn community, girl.
Okay. Sure. I'm looking now. I'm like, this is what I was operating in. Okay. No, I definitely appreciate your teachings though. Like everything that you've ever put out there, that I was able to see. Like I learned so much about myself, so much about my family, and just how we, especially specifically in the Black community, just operate and how we've been going about things and just different things that are just like hidden that we don't see. Because, I always knew that there was something wrong with, both of us, the men and the women in the Black community. But it was easier to like see the men from the female's point of view, especially from, the toxic environment that I was being brought up in. It was easy to see the men rather than seeing the women and looking at the women as well. But like now I'm just like, because like when I think about it now, it's like there's certain things that were left out that we didn't really talk about because a lot of women didn't want to change how we interacted with the male versions of us, like the our male counterparts. And so I, for the longest, I was just like, what is it though? Like, what is it that I can't really put my finger on? You know, I can't put my finger on it. It's something there. I'm almost there. And then like I found y'all, and then y'all just kind of just like opened the door for me. It's just like expanded my mindset of like thinking like what all is really being done here. Cause like some of the stuff I didn't even know was going on out there. But like after listening to a lot of the women, a lot of the males as well, as far as like what we've been seeing on both sides, and you know what we're really doing here with each other, like I'm just like, oh God, good Lord. Let me back up a little bit. Let me back up
You know, I think one of the things that is a humongous issue that I've seen amongst our people of Black women have been taught to treat the men as helpless and victims. And, you know, a lot of times we're like, we'll uplift each other. But then when it comes to the boys, it's like, oh, well, you know, if they go outside, the cops could do this to them. And, you know, white men don't like them and this and that. And then they get grown and be like, F you, I want Becky, you know. So it's kind of like, I think that Black women have been taught to shelter their sons and to kind of uplift their daughters and teach their girls to be strong, because we know in our subconscious that our daughters a lot of times are not going to have a support. They won't be protected. They won't, you know, they won't have anybody helping them with anything. A lot of times they're going to end up doing it on their own. And I don't think that it's conscious for a lot of them, but I think subconsciously they understand that. And that's why they raise their children that way. But amongst this dynamic with us, we have to stop being afraid to just push them out into the world and allow whatever to happen. I mean, with all the fear, with all the coddling, with all of the, you know, not wanting to let them go and all that, this shit is still happening. Bad stuff is still happening. So it's not fixing anything. So you might as well go ahead and teach them how to man up. But like I said, my son's 9, 8, 9, 10 years old. They was outside pushing lawnmowers and shoveling snow and washing cars. And when they couldn't figure nothing out for that day, I go figure some shit else out. Come on, let's go. We finna plant some fucking seeds. And some of them didn't grow, but you're gonna plant them any damn way, because you're not finna be in the streets coming home, bringing girls pregnant home and selling drugs and doing this and doing that because you done ran into the little Tyrone Jr. and his daddy wasn't around and his mama don't give a damn, because I ain't one of them. Okay. So my son came to me, told me he had a girl pregnant. I kicked him the fuck out. Bye.
Oh Lord.
Come on, would you help me? Hell no. If you wanted my help, you would have put a condom on. You know what I'm saying? So look, when you need my help, you act like you need my help. And we have to stop treating these young men like they're babies. We have to stop. And another issue, you know, when women get in a relationship with a man, the very first thing they want to do is cook for him and clean up the house and do this and laundry and all that. And look, it ain't nothing wrong with taking care of your house, because don't nobody want to live in no damn filth, and you got to eat.
Right.
But he need to be responsible for that shit sometimes too, because that's what you do for your children.
Right. Exactly.
Because they can't do it for themselves.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? Now, if he out working and paying all the damn bills, then by golly, please add extra softener. But if you required to pay half and take care of the kids and cook and do laundry and do all the shit they want you to do, girl, shit, I cook today, bitch. It's your turn tomorrow. The fuck?
I'm screaming. Okay.
I don't know where they get this shit from, but we got to stop it. Like, for real, we really do. We got to stop this. You're absolutely correct. This dynamic that's going on in this community is toxic. It's cancerous, and it is taking us out of here faster than any disease on the planet, girl. Toxicity. It is destroying our asses.
Oh yeah, and it does not have an age limit on it. I remember, like, if you like, just right now in this current day and age, my mom is like in her 60s. So is my dad. And then like this happened probably like when they were like early 50s, late 50s, mid 50s, maybe. But I remember there was this time where me and my sister, we was young, and you know, my dad was in the house at the time, but he was more of a shell. He wasn't really. Yeah. So he was in the house and whatnot. And My mom told him, yeah, could you go and cut the grass? And she probably told him like 2 times. No, I'm sorry, snow, shove the snow out the front. And she probably told him like 2 times, and he did not do it. And then she had me and my sister go out there and shovel the snow. But then, like, probably like a couple minutes into doing it, because my uncles and aunties, like, we lived on the same block, like right across the street from each other. One of my uncles that saw him, they had saw us shoveling the snow, and it was like, so where y'all dad at? Like, they walked up to us like, where your dad at? And it was like, he's in the house sleeping. He's like, oh no, go get your dad.
Right. Get your ass up.
Yeah, exactly. Like, had him come out here and shovel with him. My dad was like, oh, ha ha ha, just laughing it off. He was an interesting man.
Girl, all our daddies is interesting men, okay?
They really great. They're very great uncle dads, not necessarily dads, but really great uncle dads. That's for sure. Especially in my family. But I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you. You have somebody who is definitely looking at you and looking up to you in an admiring way, because like I do like how you, especially your art of detachment, how you're just such a master, from what it seemed like, really great at like the art of detachment and the other things too that I look up to you as well for. But I appreciate everybody else that came on, everybody else that said that 1, 2, 1, 2. And I'm gonna go ahead and let you go because I know that you got some things to do at your busy life. But thank you again for letting me get on here and talk to you. I was nervous, but I definitely appreciate the time. You have a good night.
Well, you know what? Thank you for taking the time to come up and call and just let other people hear, where you coming from and your perspective on things. I really appreciate that. That's a part of vulnerability, and we have to learn that too with each other, being able to trust each other to be vulnerable and to know that we're not being judged. So I understand the nervousness, but you ain't gotta be like that over here, girl. But no, one thing I will say before you go though, you read me absolutely correct. My cutoff game is, listen, my shit is on fleek. Do you hear me, girl? Okay. I don't play with nobody. I don't play with my children. I don't play with men I'm dealing with. I don't play that shit. The first time you give me a red flag, bitch, I'm out. I ain't got time to be playing with nobody about my life, because at this point, and I keep trying to drill this point home for everybody, at this point, if we don't start taking these red flags seriously, this violence, this toe tagging, and this stuff that we see going on in this community is about to amp up times 100. And I ain't trying to be no victim.
Okay.
I just ain't. Okay. I would rather be on the news looking crazy with a gun, talking about Queen done toe tagged the bitch, than to be the motherfucker that got toe tagged. I'm just saying. But thank you for calling, Miss China. I appreciate you so much, baby. You will enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Have a good one. Bye.
Thank you. You too. Okay, so that was the end of what I have for this today. I'm hoping to come on here and do this more often so I can kind of learn, like, how to edit and stuff like that. I'm gonna start using this laptop so I can kind of learn, because my kids my parents backfired on me. They was like, no, you need to Google it like you told us. I'm like, oh. I couldn't say nothing because I did tell them to Google it. But I want to thank each and every one of you. I would like to come on and have this discussion again, just so we can dig a little bit deeper. I had kind of came on trying to figure things out my first time doing it. I'm gonna try to do it again, just so I can get used to it. But I gotta go. I have a reading that I need to do. I love each and every one of you. Thank you so much to everybody who called in. It makes me feel good on my inside parts when people come on and tell me that they appreciate me and they're looking up to me and I'm helping them, because that's really the point. I don't get on here just to be acting a fool, even though it's fun sometimes. Okay. But I really want to make a difference in, the world at, some point, even if it's not everybody be in the world that I can affect or impact. At least I can help the people who want to change their world and change their environment, if that makes sense to you guys. Thank you all so very much for being here. I appreciate you guys so very much. I will see you guys in the next one. And everybody be nice to each other.